Welcome to our last part of the interview do's and don'ts. In this video, I'm going to show you the last part of the interview session. What are the things that you're supposed to do and even the things that you don't do when the interview has come to an end. But remember, in our last video, we managed to watch the two candidates, the way they conducted themselves during the interview session. But if you want your interview to be successful, avoid the following things. 1, do not call interviewers sir or madam, because they expect you to know their names, because they think or they are aware that you conducted some research before you came for an interview. Then 2, you use formal words when you are greeting them, but not use informal words. For example, WhatsApp, hello. Those are not good words to use when you are greeting the interviewer, because it will show a bad picture to them. Then 3, do not give a weak romantic handshake like the way Mr. Marker did. The way he greeted the interviewer and the way he shook the hand with the interviewer was not so good. It was not comparable to Mr. Alex, the way he greeted the interview, because if you do that, it means that you are weak and you cannot even manage maybe to do something. So when you are greeting the interviewer, use at least a bit a firm, energetic handshake to show that in fact you are ready and you are serious about the job. Then do not receive calls during the interview. You saw Mr. Marker the way he did. He received the calls and the interviewer was wondering about the person who has come for an interview. So do not receive calls when you are attending an interview session. And when you're responding to questions, be precise and concise. Don't prolong answers and ask for clarification for some questions which we don't understand. So in this video, we are going to see the last part and some questions which are illegal or inappropriate that sometimes are asked by the interviewer. How do you respond to such questions? And even some questions that we are going to learn from them.
Your strengths and weaknesses. Starting with the strength, I have a strength. The first strength I do possess is ability to work with my fellow employees and a team, and this has consistently enabled me to actually improve the set goals and assignments in my department. Adding on one of my strengths, I do have a character of building a strong customer relationship, and as you're well aware, customers are the key point in any business or company. So this has also been an attribute, my strength, good customer relations. Talking about my weaknesses, I'm actually not familiar with latest versions of softwares that most financial institutions may actually use, because some of them use sophisticated and complicated. But I'm willing and able, I have an open mind to adapt and actually learn the new softwares as may come up used in the banking sector, especially in the sales department. And more so, one of the other weakness I do possess is actually I tend to be more friendly with customers, and usually they misinterpret it for something else. However, I've tried to actually work on this and acting professionally. I believe I'm improving on that.
What is your strengths and weaknesses?
I think some of my strengths, as I see my strength, I really love hanging out with my friends, and I really love my life. I really love my life. And my weakness, you ask me my weakness? My weakness, I think I sleep a lot. I sleep too much, and I think that's my weakness, sleeping too much, and I hate pressure. I hate putting me on pressure, sir. I think that's my weakness, sir.
Okay.
I believe you have watched the two candidates, the way they have responded to this question about what are your strengths and weaknesses. Mr. Alex tried to make it clear about his strengths and weaknesses, but if you look at Mr. Mark, the way his responding to question is inappropriate. That's why I told you, or I've already told you in this video, that if you don't understand the question, ask for clarification. And if you try to watch him the way he's responding, even pointing to the interviewer, do not point your finger into the interviewer. Do not do that. And even do not pick anything from the interviewer's table. He picked something and is playing with it, and when he's asked some questions, the way he's responding to them is not professional. So you don't expect an employer to give such a person the opportunity or the job, even though he has the skills, because it shows that his behavior is not good in relation to what the interviewer is looking for. So mind about the way you respond to some questions, because interviewers expected you to carry out research about some questions that are likely to be asked. So mind about the things that you do during the interview session when such question is asked by the interviewers.
Married?
Yes, sir, I am.
How many children do you have?
With all due respect, sir, I would rather not talk about my personal life. Let us stick to the professional parts of an interview, because as I came, I was expecting interview in relation to the job description. Please, I actually kindly ask of you so that we stick on the interview guidelines.
Another question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you married?
Of course, sir. I'm really married. I'm married, and I'm married, sir. I'm really married, sir.
How many children do you have?
I have 4 children, and that's why I'm, to take care of them and the costs. That's why I need a lot of money, sir, to take care of my children, sir. I have 4 children, sir.
So if I give you the job,
Yes, sir.
you want a lot of money
To take care of my children.
to take care of your children?
Yes, sir. There are 4 children. I want to take care of them. That's why I need a lot of money.
So that's why you also want this job?
Yes. To work for my children.
Okay.
I believe the reason why the interviewer gave Mr. Mark time to continue interacting or asking him questions, he was enjoying his comedy. But if you look at the way he's conducting himself during this interview, he's not in fact serious and professional. So sometimes some interviewers ask inappropriate questions or illegal questions that are not supposed to be asked by interviewers, because they are attacking. Sometimes they do attack the personal life of the candidates, and yet during the interview you're not supposed to talk about your personal life. So sometimes they ask such questions to know whether you know the guidelines of an interview or a successful interview. But if you look at Mr. Alex, the way he responded to the question, are you married and how many children do you have? In fact, it was correct according to the job description. I'm here. We better stick on the interview than knowing my personal life. You can respond to the interviewers like that, not in a rude way, but to show the interviewer that you are serious about what has brought you here, but not again talking about your personal life. But if you watch Mr. Mark, he is serious discussing his personal life, and of course it shows that he doesn't even know the interview guidelines. So when you asked about such questions, and this question sometimes asked by interviewer to ladies are always asked this question to know how they can respond to such a question. So that is the best way you can respond to that question, like the way Mr. Alex did.
You have talked a lot.
Oh, sir.
Can you have a cup of coffee?
Oh, I really appreciate, but no thank you, sir.
I think we have talked a lot.
Of course, sir. Of course, I think we have talked enough, and I'm really very thirsty for what we have got today. I think I need something to drink.
So can you have this cup of coffee?
Oh, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
How is it?
As I earlier told you in the first phase of the interview, that when the interviewers calls you to come for an interview, they also set themselves to assess a lot of things from you, and among those things that they want to assess from you is about the behavior. That's why sometimes during the interview they come up with a behavior action to see how you are going to respond to such a behavior action. So in this video, an interviewer came up with a cup of tea and is given the interviewers, but how do you respond to such an action? Because if you take it like the way Mr. Mark has done in this video, it means that you can leave something that is important and you do something for your personal benefit. For example, if you are a customer care attendant and you have received the customers to come on your table, it means that you can leave them and you take a cup of tea and you leave them sitting there. So it shows a bad action, and in fact interviewers do not like that. But if you look at Mr. Mark, Mr. Alex, the way he did it, you appreciate but you don't take it. But if you are in an interview and the interviewers, they are also taking coffee or they are taking water, sometimes we do arrange water on the table for interviewers and even the interviewee, so that during the interview you can take, because it is involving talking, and sometimes you need to refresh yourself so that you can communicate clearly. But sometimes if they do not bring for them water or coffee and they bring for you and they give it to you, it means that you don't take it because it will show a bad picture to them.
Do you have any question for me?
Oh yes, sir. I have a question for you.
Yes,
So the question I have is, what are your current strengths and challenges as a commercial bank?
We are coming to the end of our interview.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you have any question for me?
I think the question I have is, when am I starting my work and when am I starting my job? Because I really have a lot of problems and I really need a job to take care of my problems, sir. I just want to know when I'm starting my job.
At the end of the interview, interviewers sometimes ask questions to the interviewee that, do you have any question for me, or do you have any question for us? And even if they don't ask you such a question, ask them any question such that they show your seriousness. The reason why they ask you such a question, they want to know whether you are interested in the work or you want to learn more about the company's culture. So at the end of the interview, always ask a question that is meaningful. But if you look at the way the question that Mr. Mark has asked, in fact it is useless. He's asking, when am I starting to work? He's not even aware whether he's considered, whether he will be given a job, because the way he has conducted himself in this interview is not appropriate. But at least the questions that have been asked by Mr. Alex shows that he's serious and is interested in the job. So always ask questions that are appropriate, that shows that you want to learn more, and that shows that you need to know more about the company's culture.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I think we are done with our interview.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
But when do you expect to come for work?
Actually, at the appropriate time you need me, I'll be available, and anytime that you actually require my services, I'll be available.
Okay, you wait for our confirmation.
Okay?
We shall either send you an email
Yes, sir.
or give you a call.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming.
Oh,
Have a great day.
great day, too, sir.
We have come to the end of our interview.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, sir.
So wait for my call.
I will need that call. I'll wait for that call, sir.
I'll give you a call
Yes, sir.
and I inform you the day you are going to start working.
Okay, sir.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time, sir. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Oh, sorry. I forgot this line for you, and sorry, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I'll wait for the call, sir. I'll wait for the call. Okay, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye.
I'll wait for your call, sir. I'll really wait for that call, sir. Okay. Take care. Okay, Mr. Mark.
The last part of the interview is very important to the interviewers. The actions that you conduct when the interview has come to an end shows a lot of meaning and shows a lot of the behaviors that you have. So if you look at the both candidates, the way they have conducted themselves at the end of the interview, you can realize that the actions and even the gestures that they have displayed to the interviewer are really different. But for Mr. Alex's actions were really good and professional because he appreciated the time that has been given by the interviewer, and even the way he was living. He gave a handshake to the interviewer, which meaning that he was happy with the time which was given to him. But if you look at Mr. Marker's actions, he did not even respond to the interviewer's handshake, because the interviewer gave him a handshake and did not even respond to it. And on top of that, he was going with something that he had picked from the table. That's why I told you that when you're attending the interviewers during the interview session, do not take anything or pick anything from the desk in the table of the interviewer. So Mr. Mark did a mistake of picking a lot of things from the and even playing with it. So it was really bad. And when he was leaving, even the interview room did not even close the door. So it means that this gentleman was after money that he had asked the interviewer as salary, but he was not even maybe having the skills and even the experience that the interviewer is looking for. So maybe the reason why interviewer gave him time is because he did not want to disappoint him, but he maybe was enjoying his comedy. So in this video, Mr. Mark acted like a comedian, but was not really a professional candidate that the interviewer was looking for. So if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe, give a comment, share to your friends and family, and you won't miss another interesting videos that I always upload every week. If you are new here, subscribe and give a comment.